I'm very annoyed at the people running universities in Great Britain. The reason why I'm annoyed about it is because they've facilitated and allowed, and in many cases with the lecturers and professors in these places, they've encouraged this behaviour which has been bordering on mental illness. Now, I've got two clips for you today. One, which is a very, very distressing clip on one level. It's very easy to watch. You're going to watch a young lady here being arrested by police. But if you just take a moment to listen to what this young lady is saying, look at her demeanour, and you tell me, is this a mental illness?
Our government is arming a genocide. It is UK-made weapons that are being used to destroy homes, to destroy hospitals, to destroy schools. And now our government is not only arming a genocide, they are using terrorism laws to silence people who speak out.
Maybe I'm going mad.
We do not comply to.
Now, I don't know about you, but if that was my daughter there, I would be extremely concerned. And, certainly for the first time in my life, I would have to start looking in my local area for mental health professionals, because the amount of emotion on display there was off the charts. And of course, what's passed over in all of this is the future lives that have been lost as a result of this disease, this infection that's infecting people. That young lady appeared to be intelligent. She's intelligent enough to verbalise what she's talking about. She's certainly intelligent enough to imagine the things that are happening as if they are real. And just to read of her general demeanour and, the whole look of that, I would say that looked like an intelligent person. I could be wrong, of course, but I'm just throwing that out there. She was as well. It looked to be a university student of some sort. And so, given that she's been infected with this, the question is she focusing on her future? Of what she needs to do in her life? Is she working towards a goal? Is she thinking about what's best for her life and what she's wanting to do with her life and everything else? And the answer to that is no. She's crying about a conflict that's been going on for well over a millennia. And this is extremely worrying, mainly because I hate to see young people's lives destroyed. And that's what is happening here. When university campuses, your professors and lecturers allow this, and everyone else in the teaching profession, the teachers don't get away with this either in secondary. Even in primary school, we're hearing it all the time. This woke infection, talking about sexuality and non-binary and, the weirdness that goes on, and reading odd literature, and then polluting their minds with this Gaza genocide rubbish. Then all of this leads to a very, very fractured young person with very little future ahead of them apart from mental illness and walking around and being an activist for the rest of their life. That's what these universities are creating, and I think they should be ashamed of themselves. And as you know, I'm a Geordie, I'm from Newcastle, and there has been times when I've wandered past Newcastle University on the way to a concert. This was last year. I was walking along with my wife. She wanted to go and see a band that was on at Newcastle University, so we bought the tickets and we went along. It was a lovely night out, and we hugely enjoyed the young man that was on there. When I was walking past, I saw an encampment, and as I walked through, there were people sitting around, some of whom were very upset, some of whom were waiting to talk about their upset with other people, And there were some horrific things on display, really horrific, like pictures of small children that had been exploded, etc. It was just a ghastly visage of death and destruction, meant obviously to jump right into your central cortex there and cause outrage, no doubt. And these little things that they had on display were well thought out in that respect. But here's a clip from Newcastle University, this Gazan who's brought her infection over from Palestine directly into the university. And what she's going to do is she's going to ask all of the students in the United Kingdom to rise up.
I am Hala, a Palestinian from Gaza. I can't believe that this is the 7th month and I'm still talking about the atrocious crimes the Israeli occupation is committing against the Palestinians in Gaza and the unfolding genocide, killing more than 40,000 Palestinians in the last 7 months, killing more than 15,000 children, and the world is still allowing this to happen. Let me show you what's happening now in Newcastle University. It's encampment. The sittings are starting. It's unfolding now. People are coming and they are calling for the end of the Israeli genocide over Gaza. Unbelievable amount of crimes are still happening until now in Gaza. Until the moment we're talking to, we don't know when this will be ending. However, one thing I know is that students all over the world are now moving and they're not allowing it again. They will not allow this generation to hold what the other generations have accepted, a colonial world coming from the West to colonize our countries and make these crimes against our people. Join us now in Newcastle University to support our demand for ceasefire now, end of the genocide over Gaza, end of the Israeli occupation over Palestine, and end of the complicity of the Newcastle University with the Israeli occupation on Palestine. We're in front of NUSO at the Newcastle University, just camping here. Bring your tents and come here to stay the night and do the encampments with us. Students of Newcastle University are calling upon all students of the United Kingdom to raise up and call for end of the occupation, end of Israeli genocide over Gaza, and immediate and permanent ceasefire right now. Open your own encampments and join us for the end of this genocide. We're all together until a free Palestine. Ceasefire now.
So, in essence, what you've got there is a professional agitator whose main concern in life is to raise awareness about an issue in Palestine. And of course, if this whole war was to end tomorrow and everything were to go back, then Palestine would still be occupied, in inverted commas. And so this is a forever activist. This is an activist that will be a professional activist. She'll go on and on and on forever and a day talking about the same issues and marching periodically through all the towns and cities in this country. And going back to the first young lady that we saw, you see where this has been propagated. The young people of our universities, they're being sent there, in effect, to be radicalised by Palestinian people like the lady in the headscarf that you've just witnessed there. And this is insufferable to me. As a parent, the question that remains is this: should you, in all good conscience, send any of your children to a university where their minds are going to be twisted and bent so far out of shape? Listening to any of your children scream like that and go on like that, displaying that type of mental illness, must be hugely depressing to any parent. And the question that I would ask you, if you do have any children, you are considering allowing them or helping them even go on to university, the question that I would ask is, can you in all good conscience do that? Can you send your child to a place where they may come back not only riddled with this Palestinian disease, as I would call it, but also riddled with all the rest of the rubbish there, all of the non-binary, woke stuff? Do you really take that chance with your children? Not only because of the disease that's affecting these people, But because more and more in our society, what we're witnessing is it doesn't matter what university education you get, it's not going to improve your job prospects. So given that your job prospects are not going to be improved by sending your child to university, and given that it's not exactly what middle-class people of the 20th century used to call, which is a rite of passage in some way, where you'd send your child away to experience freedom for the first time, to experience living on their own with a group of like-minded peers, to read good literature, to become educated, to make arguments, to do cool things, meet cool people that can be lifelong friends, and set yourself up on a springboard for a future successful career. None of that's real. Do not send your children to university. There's no point. Just my view. Thanks very much for your time.